Hello everybody, it's Gary Stuckey with Real Music. Taylor Swift, you gotta love her. Or if you hate her, you can't deny the fact that she's very talented, very popular. She's selling out arenas everywhere. Every time you turn around, her name is being mentioned. If you have any kids around, they mention her. They have all her albums. They know every word to every song she's ever done. Just saying, they love her so much. But she's very talented. And she may have some effect on the music scene. It got me thinking about some things. Her popularity, you've got rock bands like Kiss going to concerts. They're taking their kids or grandkids. They're enjoying her music. This Eras tour she's on, everybody's talking about it. So, would it be a bad thing to get her involved somehow with some of these rock bands? Maybe somehow she could sing some songs kind of like she did years ago with a certain band named Def Leppard, which we'll talk about in a little bit. But if she were to do a few cover songs and maybe come out during the performance of a certain band, maybe it would take off. Now, we know about Dolly Parton, right? She was just inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Who would have thunk that, right? Dolly Parton, country singer, and just an old-fashioned country singer in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. It just shows you how crazy those things are and how times have changed. But she's very talented. Now, she was with Rob Halford singing with Judas Priest at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction. And that really turned some heads. And that gets fans that like country involved in rock and roll. And even vice versa. When you hear a rock band that you haven't heard of singing with your favorite country star, you really start noticing them, And Dolly's got a rock album coming out in November with Rob Halford and a bunch of rock stars that's really going to get people paying attention. And then you got Carrie Underwood singing with Axl Rose with Guns N' Roses, and she's doing a great job, And rock and roll and award shows and TV shows just doesn't get the credit that country music does and pop music does. It's just one of those things. If a younger generation came along and started paying attention to rock and roll again, especially some of the classics, things might change. Now, like I said, Taylor Swift with Def Leppard years back, the CMT Crossroads, she sang with those guys. They took turns singing, right? Could that really affect music? It's something to think about. If Taylor brought some of these rock bands out there, kind of like Carrie Underwood is doing with Guns N' Roses, if she could maybe, I don't know, a band like Aerosmith. A lot of these bands are retiring, but this one last hurrah, if she goes out there, maybe she would re-energize some of these rock bands, and maybe she would bring life to some of the music and bring in some new fans, the younger generation. She might just stir something up, I think about things like this, I'm not the biggest Taylor Swift fan, especially these days. I liked her country music a lot better. But since she's such a big star, she would definitely have effect and some pull when it came to promoting rock bands and their albums and sales. She could generate some sales with these rock bands. I'm just saying, it's just something to think about. Let me know what you think. And I'll be waiting. Hey, thanks for watching, everybody. And be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. And always remember to keep the music real.